Sabina Lane is a clinical and health psychologist.
So I thought just for fun, I'd put together some rhyming rules for a better Christmas. Okay, so this is for everybody because even everyday people get a bit stressed by Christmas too. So my first rule is get rest to be your best. So that's about balancing some quiet time with a busy time and getting the rest you need just to be your best. So turning up to a Christmas event exhausted or hungover from other events or from wrapping gifts all night is disrespectful to yourself and others. So the aim is to treat yourself with respect so that you can enjoy the companies of those around you a bit more.
So many people, I think, just book out their Christmas. I'm doing this and then this and this, and they don't book a quiet day. They don't book a gift wrapping day.
Yeah, or a day just to breathe.
Yeah. Breathing today. We don't think to put that down, do we?
No, but that balance needs to be there. And inevitably, all the little gaps that night that you had where you usually sit quietly, something else comes up and so all the gaps get filled. So unless we mark out some space to have a break and think, or even do some exercise or some meditation, just to help with the balance.
I think a lot of people have built in pressure valves. They have meditation and exercise and whatever else. And that all goes to pot at Christmas. The classes stop, the gym closes, they just decide to have a fortnight off, and they don't realise how important that is for their well-being.
Absolutely. So my second rhyming rule is that it's important to focus on Christmas greetings, not Christmas bleatings. So Christmas isn't the time, or the holiday season isn't the time to bring up your problems or to complain about others. So making the most of the positive interactions and the opportunities that arise and talking about the good things that have happened over the year.
There's a lot of Christmas gatherings where I only see my family once every 2 years. Now I'm going to settle all the wrongs of my life with them.
It absolutely happens. Well, you've been holding on to something for a while and you build up to, it's not the time.
You build up to the third brandy and suddenly it's away.
It really doesn't help though. I mean, you might get something off your chest, but it's really unpleasant for just about everybody else.
Yeah. Lovely. Rule 3.
Be prepared, not scared. So the better organised you are, the less likely it's going to be that something unexpected or unpleasant will come up. So as you've just said, combining people or family who may not see much of each other generally can lead to awkward moments. So consider how to manage this in advance. If there's someone in particular that you're likely to clash with, have a think about how to avoid it becoming a clash, or think of something nice to say or good questions to ask prior to getting there. And also it's good to have a bit of an idea on what other people are expecting of you. And if you can work that out now, then you've got time to have a bit of an idea on whether you can meet those expectations, or talking about whether you can or can't in advance too.
One of my favourite advice columnists, whose name is Captain Awkward, writes really beautiful answers to people's very complicated family questions. And often it comes up of dealing with difficult people. I've got this brother-in-law, or I've got my mum, or whoever it is that's really difficult, who is narcissistic or whatever, that makes it very, or opposing political views that makes it hard to be around them. And her greatest piece of advice on this is find 2 or 3 safe topics that you can talk to that person about. If that person is the self-professed expert in everything, well, if they're the expert in home renovation and you've got a home reno, discuss your home reno and ask for their advice, and they'll think, what a great time I had passing on my wisdom, and you might actually get something out of it.
Yeah, they might come help.
They love a sports team. You can listen to sports blather for hours without being offended.
Yeah, that's right. That's really good. I like that. So in the next one, I've got being greedy can make you seedy. So too much food or drink can stop things from being fun. So remember that it's likely that you'll need your wits about you when you're around people, so that you don't bite when they're fishing. And also that gluttony doesn't look good on anybody.
When they're fishing. Because my family does it all the time, generally in a fairly teasing, fun manner of just dropping a little tease in front to see if that other person will bite it.
Family are great at that.
They know exactly what button to press, exactly what worm to drop in front of you.
Yep. Family can do that like no other.
And look, the gluttony thing is so true. It's very easy to go, okay, we've got this breakfast thing we're doing, and then this lunch thing, and then this big dinner, and it's like, they're all gigantic meals, and no one needs 3 gigantic meals in a day. No one.
No. And it's nice to have leftovers, and but it's really hard if you're uncomfortable by the end of the day and you're still expected to go and do things. So
Yeah.
The next one, sharing is caring. So don't expect someone else to do the whole Christmas meal. Contribute where and how you can, and offer to bring something that you're comfortable making or ask what's needed.
Spousal and family brownie points to be earned right there.
Yeah, but it's reasonable too. I mean, you wouldn't want to be the one left doing everything. And the person who feels like they are left doing everything can feel pretty uncomfortable about it. So if we're looking at now about a month out, asking what it is that you can do to help, then you're prepared, you've got a bit of an idea, and they're feeling that they're not left alone and uncomfortable about the whole thing too.
Especially if it's the same person upon whom that burden falls every year.
Yeah, and sometimes they might just be the most central, or they might be the matriarch or patriarch of a family. But yeah, it's nice to be able to contribute in some way.
Or take the burden off them altogether, especially when there comes a point when someone is getting older. But Mum's always done this. Yeah, but Mum is 85 now, and maybe it's time she just made the cranberry sauce and left us to do the heavy lifting.
Excellent. That's good. So my next one is be creative or artistic instead of materialistic. So Christmas brings a lot of pressure for many people due to spending expectations. So getting creative and changing things up with family secret Santa or making something is really useful. You can create or bake over buy where possible.
Absolutely, I agree with that. I think one of my most successful Christmas seasons ever was I made homemade tomato sauce for everyone because I was broke, but I could afford 10 kilos of tomatoes for $5.50 at the, and they were the broken, crappy tomatoes as well.
Make good sauce.
I made really good sauce, and everyone got homemade sauce, and there was always a barbecue on Boxing Day where the sauce came out, and you think, my job here is done.
Well, the other thing is that people know you've thought of them and put time into doing something for them, and that's much more valuable to a lot of people.
Mind you, one of those people left the sauce for a couple of months and it exploded into the cupboard. So I did learn to take better care with my bottle hygiene later after that.
Keep it in the fridge. And the last one I have is make connections, not rejections. So including people in your plans is sometimes the greatest gift that you can give. And it's nice for you too if people include you. So to be able to include others is a way of giving back, and you feel good that you've done that for yourself too. So it's not only great to be invited to a part of someone else's celebrations, it's heartwarming to know that people are thinking fondly of you.
Rules for living, but they're just for Christmas this time. Sabina Lane, clinical and health psychologist, thank you so much.
Thank you.